It's a dreary Sunday in New York City, but we hope that baseball brightens your day as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the world champion New York Yankees against the Seattle Mariners in the rubber game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees evened up the series at a game apiece with a 9-5 victory yesterday afternoon. After the game, they decided to put Alex Rodriguez on the DL with that calf problem, so a 15-day DL stint for him. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Now, the key to the Yankee victory was their bullpen yesterday, Kenny. Outstanding after Javier Vazquez did not pitch well.
Yeah, the bullpen's been very strong of late. In particular, Chad Godin, the last couple of days, he's pitched 5 innings and has allowed just 1 hit. Here he gets a double play ball, neatly getting the Yankees out of an inning. He picked up a strikeout in yesterday's game as Michael Saunders called out on strikes. Godin has been excellent. He also got some help in the first inning. Jorge Posada with his 14th home run again. This actually got the Yankees in front by a score of 4-2. But earlier in the inning, to tie the ball game at 2, Robinson Canó had one of his 2 hits on the day. He now has 44 multi-hit games this season. That was a 2-run single.
All right, let's break down exactly how the bullpen did. In total, they gave you 6 innings. They gave up 1 run. That was a throwaway run after the game was out of hand in the 9th inning by Rivera. Logan got the win, but Godin probably the most valuable. Speaking of pitching, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Luke French is going to go for the Mariners 2-3 with a 4.02, and CC Sabathia goes for the Yankees 16-5 with a 3.12 ERA. And Kenny, he's pitching in the right month.
Yeah, he's having a Cy Young type of year. In particular, August has been his month in his career. 36-10, his best record for any month, and you can see 8-1 in 10 starts as a Yankee in the month of August.
Well, there's another pitcher the Yankees have now. It's Ivan Nova. He's going to start tomorrow against Toronto. How does this break down in the rotation? What does it mean? Is anybody getting skipped over? We'll explain when we get back on segment 2. Everybody, we're moments away, hopefully, from the first pitch of the Yankees against the Mariners on this Sunday afternoon at the stadium. By now, you know us. Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Now, we spoke earlier about Alex Rodriguez going on the DL after yesterday's game, but the corresponding move also brings up some questions. Ivan Nova, the pitcher from the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre team, was called up. He's going to start tomorrow, Kenny. And with Thursday being an off day, there's some things that they could do with that rotation now.
Well, first of all, Nova's had a tremendous year down at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Great record, one of the better pitchers in the International League. And at the end of the rotation, you mentioned Burnett and Vazquez. The Yankees could actually make some change there because there's an off day on Thursday. You might see a different slotting of the pitchers towards the end of the rotation when it comes around again.
And the reason they have to do that, or they want want to do that. They don't want to burn out their bullpen if Burnett and Vasquez continues to give them short outings. So we'll have to take a look at exactly what goes on here. And I guess the easier way to do it would be doing it before the off day, but that's not the way it's going to work out. This gives everybody some time off.
Well, CC Sabathia might be the key to the whole situation, where they want to put him when his turn comes up again.
That's right, because CC starts today. That means he could start on Friday, and we'll see if they split up that way. All right, we got a lot of stuff to do here. Obviously, we've got lineups, first pitch, baseball, all coming up. And CC Sabathia is on the mound for the Yankees. He's almost unbeatable here at the stadium. We'll give you those numbers and the first pitch coming up next right here on Yes. The 2011 Jaguar XJ, including Jaguar Platinum coverage. Visit JaguarUSA.com for details. By IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. And by the 2010 Honda Clearance, it's the only thing from Honda that won't last. Hey, for a while there, we thought there would not be baseball here at the stadium, but there obviously is going to be. The rain has stopped, crowd filed in, the Yankees have taken the field, Ichiro Suzuki's ready, so is CC Sabathia. And played perfectly for the first half. Let's take a look at the Mariners starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Now we know that Suzuki is going to lead off and he's going to play right. Sean Pickens at second will bat second. Russell Branyan is a DH at third. Jose Lopez at third. Franklin Gutierrez in center. Casey Kotchman, the first baseman, bats sixth. Batting seventh and catching, Adam Moore. Matt Tuiasosopo in left field will bat eighth. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, Josh Wilson.
This will be his 27th start, 16-5, 3.12. Innings pitch, hits, walks. Opponent's batting average, all very strong.
And a strike.
Here's our scouting report on CC Sabathia. He's going for a perfect 10. He is 9-0 at Yankee Stadium this year. And 2 for me and 1 for you. He's 8-4 in his career against the Seattle Mariners. And 181 2/3 innings. That's the second most innings for a starter in the league. Only Felix Hernandez has more. And we saw him the other day in the opening game of the series for the Mariners.
You know, Kim Jones asked Joe Girardi today why Sabathia is so successful at home in what is not considered a pitcher's park. He said he knows the park, pitches to it, and also is always ahead in the count. He said that goes a long way towards success here. The 2-1. Fouled away.
He seems to come up with a big pitch, and a lot of times it can be the changeup. Everybody thinks CC's a hard thrower, and he is, but he has a capability of throwing an excellent changeup in what would be a fastball count. Last 19 home starts, 14-0 here at Yankee Stadium.
The 2-2. Slice foul.
So CC has a lot of not in my house when he's on the mound. You ever hear that from your mom back in the day? Not in my house, you will.
No, you know, I never got that.
Oh, you never got in trouble?
No. I got in trouble all the time, but I didn't hear not in my house.
Right.
I just heard not.
Not anywhere.
Yeah. The 2-2. Count 3-2. CeCe's last home loss was July 2nd of last year against Seattle. So Figgins has worked the count to 3-2 against the Yankees left-hander. And Sabathia deals. Popped up. Posada pushes away Figgins and makes the play. And then almost hit him with the mask as he tossed it away. So there's 2 down.
You know, I'm trying to think back to a ball game last year in Anaheim where Posada actually had the glove knocked off of his hand and he caught a pop-up barehanded. And I think the hitter was Figgins at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they kind of get run into each other a little bit. Then he almost hit him with the mask, and he makes the play for the out.
Here's Russell Branyan. First inning yesterday, he hit one into the upper deck in right field. First person ever to go there. Pitches inside, and Nick Swisher, who was playing right field, told me today, he goes, I didn't know how to react. He said, I had no idea what to do or if I should go back or turn around. He says it was just amazing. The 1-0. He said, I wasn't sure if it was going to make the upper deck. He said, but I knew that it was really far away. I think he's looking back at where it landed. Good numbers at Yankee Stadium. 6 home runs here this year. That one is driven deep to right field. If it's fair, it's gone. It's a foul ball.
Somebody got a souvenir, a happy fan. Yeah, Brandon's 6 for 30 on this road trip. This is yesterday. Woo. First time a ball has ever gone this far to right field at Yankee Stadium. Said Brandon 6 for 30 on this road trip. 5 of the hits are home runs.
CeCe reached back 95 miles an hour. Branyan fouled it back. Well, players keep track of these things, and Swisher told me, yeah, he hit the restaurant and he went in the upper deck. And no one's ever gone there other than Branyan, either spot, the 1-2. He goes around an impressive first inning for Sabathia as the Mariners go down in order. 1-2-3. It's Seattle nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat against Luke French. And it's presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira at first base will hit third. Cleaning up and playing second base, Robinson Canó. Marcus Timms, the DH, bats fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Austin Kearns in left field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing center field, Brett Gardner. And Eduardo Nunez, the third baseman, will bat ninth.
You're looking at 24-year-old Lou French on the mound for the Mariners today. He's got one decision in his career against the Yankees. That was a loss. He's been in 8 games, 5 of them in starts. He's 2-3. And you can see the ERA, the hits per innings. Not a power pitcher, 2.76 ERA. Let's check out the scouting report on Luke French, who had a strong last start. That was in Baltimore. He went 7 2/3 shutout innings against the Baltimore Orioles. And this year, like many of the Mariners, he started the year in the minors and was a all-star in the Pacific Coast League. And his best pitch, particularly in the game against Baltimore, it was a very good changeup. Down and away, floating away from the right-handed hitters.
With Seattle's AAA Tacoma team 11-3, 2.94. So Derek Jeter carrying a modest 3-game hitting streak into this one. He leads off. And now it's a 4-game hitting streak. Single up the middle for the captain. Let's take a look at the Mariners' defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Matt Tuiasosopo was at left, Franklin Gutierrez in center, and Ichiro Suzuki in right. Infield, Lopez, Wilson, Figgins, Kochman, third to first. Moore behind the plate, and French is on the mound. Grounded to short. This could be 2. There's 1. Double clutch, but there's 2.
Yeah, the ball was hit so hard by Swisher. That was kind of a tailor-made double play. Even though the double clutch by Figgins and Bill there, he still had plenty of time to turn 2. So there 2 pitches, base hit, now a double play. Figgins, double clutch, couldn't get the grip. Got a grip on it, throws the first to Kochman. There's your double play. Derek Jeter, the ball's hit hard. A little gimpy there, maybe?
Should be all right. Yeah. Here's Mark Teixeira. Pitch outside, 1-0. And a strike. Teixeira 1 hit in his last 9 at bats, 5 for 23. Hitting .254. Count 2-1. There's that change up outside.
That's where he usually keeps it. Sometimes he fades it off the corner. His hitter seems to go for it. It just keeps running away from the right-handers.
And Teixeira ends up walking. That's going to bring up Canó. Canó has thrived batting cleanup and also against left-handers this year. He has 24 homers and 30 or 80 runs batted in, but against left-handed pitchers, 12 home runs and 30 runs batted in. Pitch outside. And he's been a big reason why the Yankees are 11-0 when Alex Rodriguez is out of the lineup. And Alex was put on the DL after yesterday's game. And I asked Joe Girardi for an explanation. He didn't have one. He said, except that everybody maybe steps up when Alex is out.
Especially Canó with 350-something in the 4-hole. In the 4-hole. And that's one of the keys. When you have one of your top players out of the lineup, the other guy's going to have to do yeoman's duty and get the job done. Somebody's going to have to step into his role, and Canó's been doing it thus far in the number 4 spot in the order.
Strike. Sam Holbrook, the home plate umpire.
Numbers even better than we thought in the cleanup spot.
372, 5 homers and 13 ribbies, 16 for 43. There's that change in the dirt, 3-1.
Yeah, French, sometimes left-handed pitchers are hesitant to throw the changeup to left-handed batters because it might be coming into them, and if they time it just correctly, it's an easy pitch to pull, and particularly here at Yankee Stadium. But Luke French has confidence in his changeup that he can make a good pitch with it, even to the left-handed hitters. Count
3-2, so that's going to release Teixeira at first. Without A-Rod, 11-0. And how about on this date, August 22nd, it's the Yankees' worst record on any date in the calendar year during the baseball season. 42-60, dating back to the Yanks moving to New York in 1903. Swing and a miss, he got him. Off speed, and Canó down on strikes. No runs ahead, no errors, one man left on base. Let's go to the second. There's no score. This does it for the homestand, and the Yankees go on the road. 3 games in Toronto, all night games. Then Thursday's an off day in Chicago. Everybody's looking forward to that. And then a 3-game set against the White Sox, Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Then back home. Back home. And look at that. 4 straight day games. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then on Monday, it's also a day game. Wow. Get your rest. Here's Jose Lopez. Pitch inside, 1-0. Like to send out birthday wishes. A former Yankee, Zeke Bella. Played for the Yankees in 1957. He's from Greenwich, Connecticut, and he turns 80 today. Good guy, former Yankee, so happy birthday to Zeke Bella. Lopez 0 for his last 6. You know, there's so much rain in the forecast. The Yankees had to do some soul searching about whether or not to send Sabathia out there. Now, last year they did this, where they sent a reliever out in Kansas City in a game that they knew that there was going to be rain, because they didn't want to start a starter up, then have a 2-hour rain delay. But Joe said he was going to consult with all the people that have the weather maps and the Dopplers, and then he would decide whether or not to send CC out. And so far, it looks like a good decision as he strikes out Lopez looking.
And not only that, right now, at this particular moment, the skies are beginning to brighten here. CC's retired the first 4 Mariners that he's faced. I mean, there's still clouds up there, but it was a lot better than it was about an hour ago.
Absolutely. Now, the tarp was on until about noon, but no rain right now. Here's Franklin Gutierrez, and you certainly don't want to shorten a CC start where he doesn't get a decision, because if you fire somebody up for 2 or 3 innings and he can't start the next day, it's like a start and you didn't get anything out of it. You still have to play that game. Lights are on here at the stadium. Change up. 1-1.
And you see the difference there. CC Sabathia's changeup is 87 miles an hour. Luke French's changeup is 76, 77. So that means on the top end, CC's throwing that much harder than French is.
The 1-1. Driven to center field. Gardner's there for the second out.
You know, with CC on the mound today, Michael, the Yankees have beaten the Mariners 5 times in 9 games. They're 5-4. So the Yankees have at least earned a split in the season series. If CC wins today, it'll be the 3rd time he has beaten the Mariners this year. He beat them once in Seattle and once here at Yankee Stadium, and he would be the answer to Felix Hernandez of the Mariners, who's beaten the Yankees 3 times. So the Mariners have won 4 games. Hernandez has won 3 of them.
And the Mariners are the one West Coast team that gets 2 swings in here. They took 2 out of 3 when they faced the Yankees earlier from the stadium. In the stadium, the 1-0. There's a strike.
And the only game they lost in that series was the game that CC beat them. That was a 4-2 win on July the 1st. And as you said, Michael, he gave the Yankees length, 8 innings. On the corner, down and away at the knees.
CC has been everything for the Yankees that they had envisioned when they signed him to that deal. They needed an ace. They needed a guy who's going to give them innings. They needed a reliable starter. Quality every time out. He's been all of that and more. The 1-2 fouled away. They won a championship with him as the #1 starter in their rotation. And the Yankees defense behind CC today, brought to you by Mercedes. Kearns, Gardner, and Swisher in the outfield, left to right. Infield, Nunez, Jeter, Canó, and Teixeira, 3rd to 1st. Posada behind the plate. Sabathia is on the mound. And Carson Charles Sabathia deals the 1-2. Kochman fouls it away.
Kochman's had a pretty good road trip. In saying that, the Mariners' road trip is going to continue. They go to Boston from here. That'll be their 4th city on this trip. They've been moved up the East Coast. Started in Cleveland, then to the East Coast to Baltimore, and then moved up the coast to finish up in Boston.
Their longest road trip since 2004. So 6 years they have not been on a road trip of this length. And the 2-2. Swing and miss. Kochman down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Sabathia. 6 up, 6 down for the Mariners against CC. And we go to the bottom of the 2nd, and there's no score. Down Steven Strasburg for the rest of the year. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rate supply. The choices are 1 yes and 2 no.
What do you think, Michael? He's done.
I say you err on the side of caution with him. He is the franchise.
Yes. I mean, they're 19 games out. They're in last place. Do they have a chance to get out of the basement? No, they're 9 games behind the Mets.
Mm-hmm. So that means they have a chance. Here's Marcus Timms. Pitch is high, 1-0. And a strike. French works nice and easy. Gets the ball, throws the ball. Not exerting too much energy. Nice, easy motion.
Yeah, he was a youngster growing up in Colorado, and his favorite team was the Seattle Mariners. He was drafted by the Tigers, eventually traded for Jared Washburn to Seattle, and for a while got to play with his favorite player growing up, Ken Griffey Jr. He also liked Randy Johnson, Jay Buhner. That was an exciting team. Those late 90s Mariners hit a lot of home runs.
Now the manager of that team,
Lou
Piniella, announced today that he is going to retire after the Cubs game today. Now, he had said he was going to retire at the end of the season. His mom has been ill, and he's taking some time away from the team to be in Tampa with his ailing mom. And he decides to leave today. And we wish Lou Piniella and his family all the best as Thames walks. He's a really, really good man. He did everything here with the Yankees, played, won 2 championships, GM, the manager a couple of times, 23 seasons as a manager, won a world championship with the Reds, won 2 Manager of the Year awards with the Mariners, and then won one with the Cubs. And Lou, we wish you the best, and we hope you're happy in your post-baseball life. And he's had a great baseball run, Kenny.
Thanks for tremendous years. I always gives you the straight answer when you talk to him. And think of the competition back when he was playing, when I was playing against him. What a competitor, Lou Piniella.
So it kind of took us all by surprise when we found out he was leaving after today's game. And Mike Quade is going to take over.
Mike Quade, yeah. I used to know Mike years ago when he was in the Expos organization.
Now French has worked 2-0 to Posada. So now Moore goes out and talks with him. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. The sky kind of says it all. 78 degrees high humidity. The winds out of the southeast at 13 miles per hour. And the forecast is for possible showers. High fly ball, right field. Ichiro will make the catch for the first out. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider. Yankees baseball on Yes. Austin Kearns grounds one to third. Bobbled. Everybody's safe. That was going to be a double play. Instead, it's first and second with one out. So an error on Lopez.
Jose Lopez, as Michael called it, looked like it's going to be a routine double play ball. Instead, it's going to be his 17th error of the year. The ball might have come up a bit, but still it wasn't hit all that hard. Off the heel of the glove, no chance to get anybody. We're going to see this on Yes Mo. The glove is wide open, then off the heel. And all hands are safe.
So first and second, one out. Here's Gardner. .285 for Gardner. 4 hits and 18 at bats. And the pitch. Little low, 1-0. Rubber game of this 3-game set. Mariners won on Friday night. Yankees won yesterday. Yankees are in a stretch right now, playing 17 of 23 games at Yankee Stadium. So far, they're 4-2. Now, following this series, as we mentioned, they have a 6-game road trip to Toronto and Chicago, and then they return home. Check this out, Kenny. The longest homestand of the year. 10 games in 10 days. That's the longest. It happens in September. The 1-1.
You see that changeup, and you saw him throw it to Canó 3-2 and get him to strike out. But one thing you're doing with Gardner at the plate, here is a look at the changeup. They're playing Gardner to hit the ball the other way. And if you throw him a changeup that hangs on the inside part of the plate, that gap in right center field is very inviting.
And the count 3-1.
And if I'm Gardner, I'm not looking for a changeup on this pitch, but it's a confident pitch for French. He's very confident in throwing that pitch. I'd still be looking for a fastball.
3-1. They got a fastball, and it was upstairs. So now the bases are loaded with 1 out. And every time you talk to people that have pitched in the big leagues, they go, well, you're supposed to pick your fielders up. But you know that French, in his mind, had said, I was out of this inning, and now his bases loaded 1 out. And here comes Willis, Carl Willis. The pitching coach goes out and talks with Luke French.
You guys say that every time he comes in?
Every time for the rest of his career as an homage to Marv Howard.
Yeah. And Willis Reed. Yeah. Carl Willis was working as a pitching coordinator in the Mariners organization. With all the changes on the coaching staff and the firing of manager Don Wakamatsu, Willis now has a new job for the Mariners. He's the pitching coach, and there goes Willis.
Here's Eduardo Nunez. His RBI single yesterday was his first big league hit, gave the Yankees a 5-4 lead. So it proved to be the game winner. Now in Scranton this year, AAA for the Yankees, Nunez hit .316 with runners in scoring position. Now you might also remember that Kevin Russo, he drove in the game-winning run with a 7th-inning double in his first start in the majors on May 21st at Citi Field. Swing and a miss, and those are the only instances in the majors this year in which a first-time starter had an RBI hit in the 7th inning that produced a game-winning run, and that is it right there for Nunez.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup out over the plate, his first major league hit. Yep. And he still got the ball, and I believe he's going to give it to his mom. That's what I heard.
Foul back.
A couple of good swings here at Luke French. Nunez from the Dominican Republic, born in Santo Domingo.
Blooper. Kochman back, and he makes the play. Kochman with a beautiful play to take another RBI, another hit away from Nunez.
This is going to get inside. He comes in with a fastball after the off-speed pitches, gets it on the hands of Nunez and bloops it. He almost got it in there. Kochman, who had his errorless streak broken yesterday, major league record, 274 consecutive games without an error. Here it is on Yesmo. Makes the reception. And they kind of remind you of the Giants and the Jets who played last night, exhibition games.
Boy, were those games bad. I was looking forward to it. It was just abysmal. Both of them. Terrible. At full price. Here's Derek Jeter. High fly ball. Right center field. Gutierrez is there. And that'll do it. So the Yankees don't take advantage of the error. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and the bases left loaded. We go to the 3rd. No score. through 2, and bottom of the order for the Mariners, starting with Adam Moore against the Yankee left-hander. There's no score. Yankees have 1 hit, always in the top of the 3rd inning here at the stadium. We talked to our very own Kimberly Jones. That one's fouled away. And Kim, it's always interesting when you find out how somebody met their mate. Usually it's a good story, sometimes it's a boring story, but you have a really great story about a member of the Mariners, how he met his wife.
I do, Michael. Jason Phillips is the bullpen catcher for the Mariners. Fans might remember him as a former big league catcher for the Mets, Dodgers, and Blue Jays. Well, on May 3rd, 2009, at the Safeco bullpen, which fans are right up against the bullpen there as more ground. I spoke too quickly.
Yes, you did. We'll see how they score that, but Moore does reach. And it's an E3 on Teixeira.
So Phillips looks over and sees a very pretty woman sitting right beside the bullpen. It's the 5th or 6th inning. He says hello. He then says, "Is that guy next to you your boyfriend?" She says no. So his mates in the bullpen are getting on him. You got to do something. You got to do something. He says, "If this game goes to extra innings, I will get my phone number to her." Sure enough, the game went into extra innings. He tossed Molly Ray a baseball with his phone number on it. The game then went to an excruciating 15 innings. Phillips dying to get back to his cell phone in the clubhouse. When he did, there was a text message. "Hi, I'm Molly. Nice to meet you." The next night, they went out to a wine bar in Seattle, and as they say, Michael, the rest is history. On June 20th this year, they got married. Molly's originally from Pittsburgh. That wasn't going to work out. There were a couple other venues they checked into, none of which were favorable either. So they ended up getting married in the bullpen at Safeco Field, where they met. After a day game on a Sunday, it was transformed into a gorgeous bullpen, if you will. Still a bullpen, but it was very pretty, they tell me. All of his teammates were there, the coaches, everyone, even to the front office. So about 120 people strong witnessed the ceremony. The next day was a day off. The real honeymoon will wait for the offseason when they'll go to Italy.
What a great story. And if you think about it, the game doesn't go extra innings. He's not married.
That's right. And he said to me, I know it's a typical cliche, the ball player, throws a ball with his number on it to the girl, but he said, how else am I going to meet someone? You meet people at work usually. So there's the story for Molly and Jason Phillips, happily married, both divorced with children. He says it's working out absolutely perfectly.
What a great story. What a happy thing you brought to the broadcast today, Kim.
Michael, you have a new appreciation for stories about people proposing and how they get married, so I knew you'd love this one.
Exactly. And Kim, right behind you, there's a guy trying to give you his number. I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
Well, thank you, Kim. We'll hear from you in the postgame.
You got it, Michael.
All right. That's a great story, Kenny.
Yeah, it was. Tossing a baseball.
Now, when you were a single man, how many Ken Singleton numbers were on baseballs?
You know what? They didn't have cell phones in those days.
They still had phones. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. There's that changeup. 4th strikeout for Sabathia.
Yep. They did have phones. They just swing and a miss. And as Michael said, on the changeup, that's a great weapon for CC. And as Carl Willis, the pitching coach for the Mariners, was the pitching coach for Cleveland for a while when CC won the Cy Young Award. So he's sitting there watching his former pupil deal against his team.
Here's Josh Wilson. Hey, how about this, Kenny? On successive days, we see 2 of the best first basemen that you'll ever see make an error.
I was thinking the very same thing when it happened. That Kochman's streak, 274 consecutive games without an error, broken yesterday. And the reigning Gold Glover, Teixeira, picks up an error, and I don't think he has that many. Is that his second? No, his third. Maybe a little bit too much of a hurry to make the play.
A couple of the Yankees I was talking to today, they could not believe that Kochman was given an error on the Curtis Granderson ground ball. They said that should be changed. And they're not saying it because they want Granderson to get the hit. They just say that's an extraordinarily tough ball to make a play on.
A short hop.
And it was hit so hard.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point where when players, in particular Kochman, on a ball hit that hard, if he doesn't make the play, you're going to call it a hit.
Right.
A lot of times it depends on the venue. Maybe in Seattle, Granderson would have had a hit.
Popped up. Long run for Swisher and Canó. Swisher's there, and he makes the play. In fact, Kenny, one Yankee said to me, and I'm not going to use his name, how do you give Kochman an error and then not have an error on the ball that Robbie booted that they gave a hit to?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he said that ball was much easier and softer hit. He said it just doesn't make sense. One's got to be, if one's an error, the other's a hit, and or vice versa.
Well, the ball that Canó was kind of spinning was off the end of the bat, and that
kind of hit off his hip.
Yeah, but this one was a rocket to Kochman.
Here's Ichiro Suzuki. Hit 2 home runs yesterday, first 2 at bats against Javier Vasquez. And I was talking to Joe Girardi today, and he said he truly believes that Ichiro has a different mindset when he comes up to the plate at Yankee Stadium because of the short porch. He goes for home runs, while in Seattle he probably doesn't. And there's home run number 2. That one is tapped back to the mound. Sabathia will get the out. And no harm, no foul on the error by Teixeira. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. There's no score on yes. Flanagan, furnishing your style with a guaranteed delivery of 3 days or less. By Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And by Acura, Advance. Knock on wood, the rain is holding up so far on this Sunday afternoon. Both pitchers doing well. It's a 0-0 game as we go to the bottom of the 3rd with Nick Swisher, Mark Teixeira, and Robinson Cano due up against Luke French. French has had 2 starts and 2 relief appearances in his career against the Yankees, 0-1 with a 2.35 ERA. He pitches much better at Safeco Field, 3.12 ERA there, and on the road, 4.70. Swisher wrapped into a double play on the first pitch that he saw in the first inning, 6-4-3, so he's 0 for 1. And there's a strike. Mariners usually play clean baseball behind French. They've committed only 1 error in 40 1/3 innings, but they've already had 1 today, but not there as Wilson guns down Swisher, 1 away.
It's twice now Swisher's grounded to short.
11 consecutive shutout innings for Luke French right now, and that's the longest streak of his big league career. Here's Mark Teixeira, and there's a strike. You know, with all the rain, when you're at the ballpark early, all you keep hearing, are they going to rain it out? Is there going to be a delay? High fly ball. Left field, right down the line, but it hooks foul. And the big problem they have, especially with a West Coast team like the Mariners in for the last time, you're committed to playing this game, and it's in the umpire's hands, the team's last time in. Because if you don't play this, Kenny, all sorts of logistical problems. When's there a common off day? Would you have to play it at the end of the year? The Mariners finished their season in Seattle. How elated would they be to have to fly 3,000 miles to do a makeup game that would mean nothing to them? So everybody was committed to trying to get this in.
Yeah, Seattle's about as far away as you can get from New York in the American League. And they did have a common off day, though. It was that off day that was Thursday.
Yes.
The Mariners would be finishing up this series in Boston, and the Yankees would be finishing up this series in Toronto before moving to Chicago. But, you know, like you said, everybody's looking forward to the off day in Chicago.
Ground ball up the middle. It's going to squeak through for a base hit. So Mark Teixeira has a walk and a single.
It's kind of a squibber off the end of the bat. The ball that he hit well down the left field line was a changeup. And he swung at it like he was looking for it and pulled it foul. This was another changeup. This time he wasn't looking for it, but kind of squibbed it off the end of the bat and got it into center field for a hit. There's a change down and away, and he even went down and got it. Here it is on Yesmo, even slower than it actually was. Look at that. You can see the seams rotating off the end of the bat and got it in the center.
Canó struck out in the first inning. Ground ball up the middle. There's one, and there's two. So French is doing what he does. He gets you to put the ball in play and sometimes hit it on the ground. No run to hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. You score that 6-6-3. We go to the fourth. Luke French likes it 0-0. Built on trust at GE Capital. We prove that every day.
Yeah, it looked like second base got crowded like the Cross Bronx Expressway on this GE Capital partner play, but it's going to be Josh Wilson taking himself as Figgins gets out of the way and turns the double play. And it's over the first baseman, Casey Kochman. Double play partners.
How often does it happen when the guy doesn't get the flip on the double play, he leads off? Here's Sean Figgins. Pitches low, 1-0. 2 hits for the Yankees, and the Mariners still looking for their first. Wind is whipping here at Yankee Stadium. Some kind of weather is blowing through. Maybe the rain is blowing through or blowing in. Who knows? The 1-0. Fouled away.
Figgins is hit better in the second half of the year. His average almost up to 250 now. But in the first half, he struggled. But all season long, he's hit pretty well right-handed as a switch hitter. Left-handed, he hasn't had quite as good a year as he's had in the past. Nice catch.
The 1-2 off the end of the bat foul. And the pitch. Keep spoiling him.
Couple fastballs away, then the changeup. Last 5 seasons with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
What a disappointment this year is following last year.
Yeah, 114 runs last year.
He cashed in $36 million for 4 years, but hasn't had a good season.
At this point in the year, he has scored 49 runs. And a lot of that is a product of the lineup around you, of course, but he's not getting on base as many times as he did last year.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him.
CC showed just about all of his weapons in that particular at-bat to Sean Figgins. Fastballs away, changeups away. Looked like a breaking ball down and in. Yep, little cutter, little slider. Puts him away. That's the first one he threw him during the at-bat. He saved it just for the right time. You can see the spin on the ball. The ball's going to dive down and in. And out in front, over the top for the strikeout. Number 5 for CC.
Here's Russell Brandon. Kenny, is it true that when the slider comes up there, you do see a dot because of the spin?
Yeah, I don't really see the dot. You can see the movement on the ball. I went by the speed of the pitches, and the speed of the pitch would usually dictate what it was. You know, you just see it comes fast, and it's going to be a fastball. Change up. You know, you realize you got to keep your weight back. Breaking balls a little bit slower. You can actually see the spin a little bit too on the breaking ball. But you know, the good sliders like that one, especially when you haven't seen one the whole at bat, difficult to deal with. CC threw it exactly the right time.
Well, Wade Boggs used to say that because of the spin of the slider and the laces going in the direction that they would go, that it would make a dot, that he would see the dot coming toward him. I mean, which just tells you the level that you guys are on, that we can't even appreciate. You can identify a dot and know what pitch it is, and it's all done in a nanosecond. The 1-2.
You know, one thing we're seeing from CC in this game, now he's beaten the Mariners twice this year, and he's only had 5 strikeouts in the 2 previous games in 15 innings. He's got 5 already today. And we've seen CC win all types of games. Games where he doesn't have many strikeouts because his changeup's working, gets a lot of ground ball outs. And we see him when everything's working and he's striking out batter after batter. And today might be one of those days. He's got 5 strikeouts already in the 4th inning.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. There's 6. Time for the New York State Smokers Quick Line Quiz here in the top of the 4th inning. And with Lou Piniella retiring at the end of the game today against the Cubs for the Cubs, Lou Piniella managed his first ever game on April 8th, 1986 for the Yankees against his former team, the Kansas City Royals, and which Yankees pitcher got the win that day back in 1986. The Cubs are playing Atlanta today.
And another manager, Bobby Cox of the Atlanta Braves, is going to be leaving at the end of the season.
Be tough to pull him away if they win. But he's insisted he's definitely leaving. There's a ground ball to short, and Jeter gets Lopez, and Seattle still looking for its first hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. There's no score on yes. Smokers Quit Line Quiz? That's a question. We'll give you the answer in a sec. As Timms hits one deep to left field. Tuiasosopo back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. He makes the play. So Marcus Timms gave it a ride, but Tuiasosopo ran it down.
Here's a pitch. Is it a changeup? Yeah, it is. And Timms just stays back enough. Got good wood on it. Didn't have his ace swing. Wasn't able to drive it. Tuiasosopo gets back to the wall and then makes the catch. Just enough ballpark to hold it. Not quite his ace swing.
And now we need the answer to who was the winning pitcher in Lou Piniella's first game back in '86 as the Yankee manager. It was against the Kansas City Royals. Ron Guidry. His former teammate got him his first win. Posada pops it up. Figgins. Well, it was up there for the second out. Sky getting a little darker above Yankee Stadium right now. Dark clouds moving in from right to left.
Yeah, you can see the fielders have a little problem with the wind, too. If you look at the flags atop the stadium, they are starched today.
Six Yankees have already put the first pitch in play against French, but not Kearns. He takes a pitch, low, 1-0.
Kearns has done a good job. He's currently on a 10-game hitting streak. The Reds saw something back in 1998. They made him a #1 draft pick.
There's that change. Those changes are 2-0, so he loves that pitch.
Yeah, somebody is going to run into one here, though. All of a sudden, you get ahead on the count. And you just say, I'm staying back. And this is going to be a changeup. And
that one's driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Home run off the bat of Austin Kearns. Yankees lead 1-0. His 10th home run of the year and an 11-game hitting streak.
I don't think that was a changeup. That was a misguided fastball. After throwing in the change, I think he tried to heat him up. Let's see what the pitch is here. It's hard to tell right there. Whatever it was up higher in the zone. Yeah, it was a fastball. And Kearns was not being passed by that one.
And the pitch to Gardner's upstairs, and that's Kearns' first Yankee Stadium home run. A couple of the deadline acquisitions have really helped the Yankees. Kerry Wood has helped solidify the bullpen, and Austin Kearns has been a welcome addition with his right-handed bat.
It took Kearns a few days to get acclimated to being with the Yankees, and now he's starting to pay dividends.
Kerry Wood has really done a nice job out of the pen.
That home run brought rain. Fans are starting to scurry here.
Now you need to get the top of the 5th in to make it an official game. Ground ball to first. Kochman will beat Gardner to the bag, and that will do it. But the Yankees get on the board. They take a 1-0 lead. Austin Kearns, his first Bronx home run, into the seats in left field. His 10th home run of the year. On a 1-0 Yankee lead. Thank you, Bob. We'll hear from you a little bit later on. Franklin Gutierrez leads off here in the 5th inning. It's imperative to get these 3 outs in with the Yankees leading 1-0. It is raining here at the stadium. The umbrellas are out, and many fans are going back and trying to get some cover. CC has not allowed a hit. The only base runner in E3, Adam Moore, reached. And there is the first hit past the diving Nunez and down the left field line. Austin Kearns will fire to second, but in there with a double is Gutierrez. So the first base hit for Seattle.
And pitches towards the middle of the plate, and Gutierrez rips it into the corner. Kearns actually made a pretty good play, and I believe if the throw was on the bag, he might have had a different outcome at second base. Gutierrez hustling, gets over quickly. The throw is just offline. It would have been a close play at second base if that ball had been on the bag.
Here's Casey Kochman, who struck out in the 2nd inning. There was a similar game involving Sabathia earlier this year at Fenway, where he wasn't really pitching with any urgency in the 5th inning, and he ended up costing himself a win. He left the game with 1 out to go in the top of the 5th inning. That's when the rains came and they put the tarp on. But it was such a long delay that they couldn't bring him back out to pitch, so he lost his chance at a victory.
And the Yankees did go on to win that game.
Mm-hmm. It's that sort of wind here at the stadium. The 1-1. High fly ball. Gardner. Wind takes it all the way in. Gardner's first move was out, and that's how much the wind took that in, so he puts it away for the first out.
Also, it kind of helped the Yankees. The ball wasn't able to carry further, and Gutierrez couldn't tag and move over to third. See Gardner go back a few steps, and now watch how far he has to travel in to make the play. Continues to come on and makes the catch, maybe another 10-15 yards before he actually corrals the fly ball. And even the camera having trouble holding steady under the barrage of the wind.
It is really coming down now here in the Bronx. And the Yankees need 2 more outs. Here's Adam Moore. Punched out toward right field. It is a base hit. Gutierrez rounds third. They're waving it home. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's out. Oh, what a throw by Swisher. Gutierrez out trying to score. Outstanding play by Nick Swisher.
A bloop off the bat. Looked like the changeup, and Moore goes with it, gets the hit. But Swisher comes up throwing. And Posada handles a tough short hop. And there's your tag, and he is out at the plate. Sam Holbrook with a good call. Looked like third base coach Lee Tinsley was trying to hold him, but he was already halfway home. And there's the tag for the out. Great reception by Posada on a short hop to make the tag, and CC saluting his right fielder for making the throw.
Here's Tuiasa Sopo. Swings and misses at a high fastball. Remember last year when Nick Swisher was not throwing the ball well from right field, rather than go to Rob Thompson, who handles the outfielders, he went to Dave Island. He said, well, shouldn't I go to the pitching coach to find out how to throw better? And Island told him how to use his legs, and he has become a much better thrower.
And I believe that's his 8th assist this year. And that represents a career high. He'd already passed his career high, but each time he gets another one, it represents a new career high. 8 assists for Nick Swisher.
That's quite a pick-me-up for a pitcher. As the skies darken, he's trying to get out of this inning, and his outfielder just really helped him out a bit. The 0-2. Missed inside. Right now, Dorothy is cowering somewhere.
We're on Kansas, Toto.
And he gets hit. Tuiasa Sopo gets plunked and will take first base.
With the raindrops coming down, Posada handles the tough short hop. And you see the third base coach Lee Tinsley drop his hand after he sees the out call at home plate. You know, you can't blame him. You got to take a chance. He knows the situation as well. Posada blocks the plate, no place for Gutierrez to go. He knows he's got to try and send a runner to get this game tied with the rain coming down.
Now, I'd love to take one more look at that because I just think that Posada tagged him with the glove and the ball was in the bare hand. That last replay that we just saw would show that Posada tagged him with the glove and the ball is in the other hand. And unlike the playgrounds of New York City, it's not the electricity play.
No electricity.
No electricity. Swing and a miss.
It's a stormy day.
Let's take a look at the Coors Light freeze cam. So he makes a great short hop pickup. But the glove does not have the ball in it. On the Coors Light freeze cam. So Gutierrez is safe. One nothing, Yankees lead, but the Mariners threatening first and second with 2 outs. And the 0-2. Foul bat. Rain looks like it's held up just a bit right now, which is great news. First and second with 2 outs. And the 0-2. He struck him out. High fastball. It's an official game here at the stadium. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. A great throw by Nick Swisher. A great pickup by Posada. And a phantom tag without the ball. But CC says, I'll take it. So will Swisher.
Tinsley, third base coach, is trying to hold him up. You can see Tinsley just off the edge of your screen here. And here's Gutierrez just rounding third. There's the stop sign. But Gutierrez has a full head of steam, and he doesn't want to hear anything of it. And decides to try and score. Great pickup by Posada as Michael called the phantom tag, and he's out. But in a way, he can't blame Gutierrez if he knows what's going on here. With the rain coming down, he realizes that he's a potential tying run, and if he doesn't score, well, the Yankees could win if the heavens open up and starts raining.
Right now they're leading 1-0 bottom of the fifth, and Eduardo Nunez leading also. Change up his foul back. Hey, with the rains coming, we want to wish good luck to one of our rookie interns who's done such a good job, Mark Illustrato. This is his last day, and he is going back to Fairfield University tomorrow.
Hey, good luck, study hard.
And he's been running tapes for us all summer, and I'll tell you, the runners here are interns that run the tapes back and forth. They get their work in.
Yeah, they are in tremendous shape when they get back to school. There he is.
Mark.
All right.
High fly ball to right field. Ichiro Suzuki puts it away for the first out.
Oh, Mark, wave to the fans here.
There you go. There he
Yeah.
goes. You know what? He's going to get that on his handheld device. And in every bar in Fairfield, he's going to show every young lady, look, I was on the Yankee games.
How about just at school?
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's Derek Jeter. Name like Illustrato, he should be in pictures, TV. Here's the 1-0 to Jeter. 2-0.
Derek with a base hit the first time is now hitting 24 of his last 31 games. And 4 hits in this series, which is not completed. And a close pitch there.
Ball 4 as Jeter reaches for the second time. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Ivan Nova, 12-3 with Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the Yankees AAA affiliate, with 2.86. He actually did pitch earlier in the year, 2 games. And Brandon Morrow, 9-6, 4.45. We'll come on the air at 6:30, and Rogers Center first pitch right around 7:07, 7:08. Ken Singleton and John Flaherty will have the call.
Morrow had that 17 strikeout game earlier this year. Man, he was overpowering in that contest.
Pitch inside to Swisher, and now Moore wants to go talk with French. Swisher's hit the ball hard twice to the shortstop Wilson. One time Wilson started a 6-4-3. The other time just threw across the diamond to get Nick Swisher, who was 0 for 2. Nick 5 for his last 21. Driven out to right field, deep. Ichiro back, track, wall! He can't hold on! And both runners advance one more base. Jeter going to third, and Swisher to second. So Ichiro Suzuki tracked it, but then when he made contact with the wall, he couldn't hold on.
Yeah, it spun around in his glove. He hits the wall, the ball comes out, then he has problems picking it up again. Ichiro with trying to make another circus catch. He actually had it for a second.
And he actually lost it before he made contact with the wall.
And then he had trouble picking it up the second time after the ball falls onto the warning track. And that allows the runners to move up.
All right, they're going to score that a single. I think this is good scoring by Howie Carpin. And they're going to give an E9, allowing the runners to move up. And now, by committing that E9, Ichiro has forced the Mariners to walk Mark Teixeira, intentionally walk him. So Teixeira has walked, singled, and now an intentional walk. And they'll take their chances with Canó. Canó's been so good this year, you don't see people walked in front of him. But today, he struck out and wrapped into a double play.
This is a chance to pass at least one of them, and passing Teixeira to set up the possibility of the double play. Canó did hit into a double play his last time up.
All right, so the Yankees have a chance to get more runs with rain in the forecast. It's 1-0 right now. It's already an official game with the Yankees leading 1-0. You need to play 4.5 if the home team is leading. Now, with the bases loaded this year, Canó is 6 for 11 with 1 grand slam and 15 runs batted in. Big spot. That one is driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A long grand slam for Robinson Canó. And the Yankees lead 5-0. He answers the intentional walk with the best possible thing. A grand slam.
I was talking about a lefty throwing changeups to a lefty. And this is going to turn into the Yankees' 10th grand slam of the year. He got it in. This is the pitch that Canó struck out on in the first inning. This time he was ready for it. A changeup up in the zone, and he smoked it.
Pitch is inside the Tims. So 10 grand slams by the Yankees. It ties the 87 team for the most grand slams in a single season. I believe the 87 team was a team where Mattingly himself had 6 grand slams.
And that was the only 6 he hit in his career.
Yes. Grounded sharply to third. Backhanded by Lopez. The long throw for the second out. Also, Canó with the grand slam now has 25 home runs. And now, on August 22nd, he has matched his career high, which he did last year. So he's got a ways to go to break it. You can see the pitcher knew because Franks then dipped his head as Canó connected for the grand slam into the bleachers.
Continues to hit well in the cleanup spot.
Popped up. Lopez is there and puts it away for the final out. But they intentionally walked Teixeira to pitch to Canó. Bad move. He crushed it. A grand slam. The Yankees' 10th of the year and a 5-0 Yankee lead. Nationals shut down Steven Strasburg for the rest of the season. You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. Overwhelmingly, you say yes.
Yes,
yes, Al Leiter told us. Well, looks like Robinson Cano's home run punctured the clouds, and it is pouring here at the stadium as we start the 6th inning. Ichiro Suzuki against CC Sabathia. Right back to CC. One away.
Has Ichiro swung at the first pitch 3 times?
Not sure, Ken.
I would think he has.
Since June 15th of this year, Sabathia 12-2 with a 2.48 ERA and has averaged 7 1/3 innings a start. Now he comes into this game at 16-5. Check this out, Kenny. The earliest in his career that he has ever picked up his 17th win was on September 13th. Now, including today, well, not including today, if everything goes according to plan, he's got 8 more starts. He could be putting together just an unbelievable season. 8 more starts after this, so if he wins this, 17-5. As Figgins swings and misses, and Kenny, we checked it out. Ichiro did swing at the first pitch 3 times, put the second pitch in play in his second at bat. You see the wins in the American League. Sabathia 16. And Hughes and Pavano and Price all tied at 15. The Rays won last night, but Price did not get the win. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Higgins down on strikes.
I mentioned this might be one of the days where CC puts the strikeout pitch together. Everything seemed to be working right from the start. The changeup, the fastball, and a good slider or cutter.
Some news and notes from last night while you were sleeping. Jed Lowry, a walk-off home run for the Red Sox against Toronto in the 11th. Sean Rodriguez, a game-winning 2-run home run in the 8th inning at Oakland. And Steven Strasburg, we talked about he strained a tendon in his forearm, and that's why 82% of you have texted you think they should shut him down. Kenny, you see these guys that throw 100 miles an hour, and you know what? I don't think it's normal. I think the arm can't hold up over a long stretch. Look at Zumaya this year.
You know, I think a lot of it is mechanics, and I don't know if there's any pitcher who has the perfect mechanics, maybe Mariano. And I think a lot of it's about repeating your delivery over and over again. I'm trying to think, we just recently saw another one, Cliff Lee.
Yes.
Is very perfect mechanics, just delivers every pitch just about the same way. So it doesn't put any extra stress on their arm.
Here's the 2-0. Grounded up the middle and under the glove of Canó for a base hit for Branyan. So Branyan had struck out twice against Sabathia, picks up a 2-out single. Toronto and Boston at Fenway is being held up because of rain. Tampa Bay, Oakland will start later. Here's Jose Lopez. Rain continues to fall. Yankees lead 5-0.
I guess we should warn the people in Boston, Toronto, Boston, there's more rain on the way if this is headed in their direction.
That's double umbrella protection. The Bracabella and then the regular. Didn't Lou Brock invented that, right?
You got that right. I remember that was back after I was a rookie. Had to be the late 60s, early. I think I was still in instructional league, but the Bracabella, at first it was not so much a rain hat as it was to protect you from the sun in Florida in the spring training sessions. People were purchasing the Bracabellas and wearing them in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the St. Louis Cardinals trained at the time.
They're bringing out a new rosin bag for CC because he stepped off on the front of the mound and kept rubbing his hand on his pants leg. And the ball boy, or the bat boy, brought out the new rosin bag. He was actually called out by Posada. And I think he takes the old one with him. Very, very tough to keep your grip on the ball as the rain continues to ball. It's certainly not optimum conditions here at all. The 1-1. Fly ball, deep to right. Swisher back. Makes the play right in front of the wall for the final out of the top of the 6th. No runs a hit, no errors. 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's all Yankees, 5-0. Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, between innings, the Yankee grounds crew did its job, putting some drying agent around the plate and also on the mound. I want to remind everybody you can become part of the winning team by joining the New York Yankees fan club. For just $40, you'll receive an official membership card, a World Championship nylon banner, a World Championship coin, a Yankees cap, special ticket discounts, and other exclusive fan club items. To join, call 1-800-GO-YANKS or log on to Yankees.com today.
Michael, I think the rain is coming down as hard as it's ever come down during the course of this ball game right now. And you're right, in between innings, Dan Cunningham and his grounds crew worked on the mound, the home plate area. And the pitcher's the one they're worried about. You saw CC last inning, they changed the rosin bag. When a pitcher starts having trouble controlling the ball, the gripping the ball, that's when they have a tendency to stop ball games. And right now, it's coming down even harder than when I first started talking about this. So it's going to be interesting to watch what happens from this point on in the ball game.
Well, we'll see how long the umpires let them play in this kind of weather, because I believe they know that it's going to be even more rain as we move forward. That was the forecast they had earlier. Now they're going to call for the tarp because it is raining so hard that they're going to call for the tarp. And I think that's a wise decision at this point. Doesn't matter what the score is, who's leading. But you play in weather like this, Kenny, there's a good chance somebody gets hurt. And the longer you keep the field uncovered, the tougher it's going to be to play later if it does stop raining.
Yeah, to get it back in shape once again. So the right call has been made. Yeah, there's no way they can continue to play right now. And put the Yankees up by a score of 5-0.
A couple of things that we wanted to bring up, and we want to make sure we get it in. When we got to the ballpark today, we found out that Vin Scully was going to have a press conference.
Yeah. And
we figured, well, that's it. He's going to announce he's not coming back. And thank goodness, Vin Scully announced today that he's going to return for a 62nd season at the Dodger microphone. He will announce in 2011, and that's about as good a news you could have at your baseball fan.
A baseball fan, and certainly a Dodger fan. They are so used to listening to Vin Scully during the course of ball games out in L.A.
Now, you'll see this, Kenny. This is important. Fordham University graduate. And 1950, He took over as the Dodgers broadcaster at Evans Field, broadcast 3 perfect games, 19 no-hitters, and he's going to return in 2011. And I am delighted. He is such a gentleman, and I think we all just attempt to be in the same business. He's on a different plane than everybody else.
Yeah, you know, Michael, sometimes we're working these East Coast games, and particularly when I'm at home and in Baltimore watching games. I've just finished watching the Yankee game when I'm off. And I'm flicking around on the satellite, and all of a sudden the Dodgers come up, and you hear Vince calling.
You feel like you're stealing.
You have to stop it and listen, watch the ball game.
Absolutely. And today, after the postgame, whenever that might happen, you have to stick around for WB Nation Presents the Joe Girardi Show. Get Joe's thoughts on the past week and a look at the upcoming series with Toronto. And after that, catch a special best of edition of Yankees on Deck presented by Tops Attacks. It's all coming up today after the postgame. Only on Yes. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, that's for sure. You have Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry back in our studios, but we're going to be back in just a moment. It's 5-0 Yankees. The sky has opened up before the bottom of the 6th inning. We're going to come back to the stadium, though. As I said, we've got a lot to talk about. Yankees lead 5-0. 4.61 ERA, 13 hits and 13 and 2/3 innings, 4 walks and 10 strikeouts. After this game, Seattle will travel to Boston. They have started play now in Boston. Boston scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. That had been held up because of rain, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And right after the game, the Yankees will head to another country. They will go to Canada, and they will end up playing the Blue Jays starting tomorrow night, 3 night games. Kerry Wood begins the throne. With the Yankees batting here, Kenny, and they knew they were going to go to a short reliever. They didn't need somebody to warm up that long. Short relievers get ready in a hurry, so it'll be Wood pitching the 7th.
Yeah, Kerry Wood certainly used to that. Chris Seddon, who's now in the ball game for the Mariners, he started warming up 10, 15 minutes ago, but he's in the ball game now. Another left-hander going for Seattle. And here's the Austin Kearns. And here's that solo home run I talked about.
There you go. And that gave the Yankees a 1-0 lead. So Kearns digs in, and Seddon is ready. And the first pitch is a strike, and we are underway again. Bottom of the 6th inning, 57-minute rain delay here at the stadium. 57-minute rain delay, the 0-1. Inside 1-1. Now, we talked about the home run. Why don't we take a look?
Yeah, 2 outs, nobody on in the 4th inning, and this pitch is in the middle of the plate, but not for long. It's headed for the seats in left field.
Two and 1 count as the bottom of the Yankee order will bat. The count 3-1 as Seddon, not throwing strikes, promptly out of the bullpen.
Seddon's first appearance in the major leagues was actually a few years ago with the Florida Marlins. And this year he's picked up his first major league win in relief.
And there's a strike right in under the hand. Sam Holbrook calls it. Really rained hard at the beginning of the delay and slackened off. Kearns could not hold up, so he goes down on strikes. And we always say this, but the field happens to be in very, very good shape, and that's a testament to the way the field was built with all the drainage underneath. And also, Danny Cunningham and his guys, we can't say enough. There's Danny, and obviously you can see he's put in a long day here at the office, but they do a wonderful, wonderful job, and they do it quickly, and the umpires trust them, and both teams trust them as well.
Well, the umpires trust their judgment. When he says rain's coming, rain is coming.
Pitch outside to Gardner. Pitch is high, 2-0. Oh for 1 is Gardner with a walk, the 2-0. And the count 3-0. And the pitch by Seddon. And he walks Gardner. That's not what he wants to do.
Second time that Gardner has drawn a walk in today's ball game.
Crowd of 46,778. Some have stayed. I don't know if the majority, but certainly a lot of people have stayed through a 57-minute rain delay. Here's Eduardo Nunez, 0 for 2. Popped up to first and flied out to right. Count 1-0. That's a great relationship there. He's gonna take the hit and hold the pink umbrella. And she's taking a beer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Love it. The 1-0. There's a base hit for Nunez. The ball just dies in right field. That is a puddle double. Well, you see something new every day. That ball couldn't move. So I guess the drains haven't worked out at that point.
Well, we noticed when they dumped the tarp, they actually dumped it in left field today. Now watch this. Splash. Splash down and right. Ichiro has to come and get it. And meanwhile, Nunez scampered into second with a 2-base hit. We're going to check this in Yesmo as Ichiro approaches the ball. Somebody's going to need a new pair of shoes.
Well, the infield comes in. A walk and a puddle double, and here is Jeter. Pitch is high. 5-0 Yankees, and they are looking for more. So Nunez picks up his second big league hit. An odd double. He's prepared for any more rain. One and one.
Well, the Yankee outfielders should take note of just what happened on that ball that was halted. And it would probably short right field and short left field. That's where the problems are going to be. Infielders might take note too. They might have to chase him down.
Line drive to center field. Gutierrez makes the catch. Tagging is Gardner. And the throw is cut off by Kochman. Sac fly for Jeter. His 57th ribby. And the Yankees have a 6-0 lead.
Well, we talked about Gutierrez playing a fairly shallow center field, and it kind of paid off. It looked like that ball might get down for a base hit, but Jeter's going to have to settle for a sacrifice fly. Gutierrez, he's got a string going. He's got like 160 consecutive games in the outfield without an error, which considerably easier than Kochman at first with a 274. People would say, well, you can play safety first outfield. That's not the way Gutierrez plays it. He dives. He does all the things necessary to try and make all the plays. But there is such a thing as a safety first outfield. I was kind of that way. Didn't want the ball to get by me if I dove for it because I didn't feel like chasing it.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, it's embarrassing too.
Bottom of the 6th, it's 6-0 Bombers as they try to take this series 2-1. Foul ball. Well, it has not been a slugfest, that's for sure. I think that same lady had that same souvenir yesterday. Look at the gritted teeth on it.
Oh my goodness.
That's how you throw a punch.
It means business.
Yeah. Seddon's having a lot of trouble throwing strikes behind in the count seemingly all the time. Three-one, foul back, 3-2. So Kerry Wood is ready. He'll come in and pitch the 7th inning for the Yankees. Sabathia gives the Yankees 6 shutout innings.
Well, we mentioned Luke French had been a Pacific Coast League All-Star. Today started for the Mariners, and the same holds true for Seddon, who comes in relief here in the 6th inning. He was an All-Star in the PCL. And the Mariners Pacific Coast League affiliate is in Tacoma, which is not that far away from Seattle. I think it's less than an hour. So when they call somebody up, you can get there in a hurry if it's on a homestand.
Nunez leads off second with 2 outs. And the pitch. And a walk to Swisher. That's going to bring up Teixeira.
And to think about a lot of these players, you mentioned Seattle has 14 players on their team that spent some time at AAA. That's where the manager, the current manager, Darren Brown, was all season long, managing a AAA club.
Probably knows those players better than the ones up here. Teixeira was intentionally walked in the 5th inning to pitch to Canó, and that's only the 2nd time that someone's been intentionally walked in front of Canó. The other time was A-Rod, and Canó actually struck out that time. But this time he made them pay with a long grand slam into the bleachers in right center. Count 2-0. Carl Willis will come out and talk with Seddon. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Trying to calm down the young left-hander who has walked 2 this inning. One of them has scored and also given up the what'd you call it? Puddle double?
Puddle double.
Yeah.
And it's 3-0. Will Canó come up again with the bases loaded?
Well, the way Seddon's been going, it'd be tough for him to throw a strike before you.
And there's ball 4. So he will come up again with the bases loaded. Last time up, oh, here's what happened.
Last inning, following the walk to Teixeira. First pitch. 4 more runs for the Yankees. And Canó has now hit more home runs against left-handers than right-handers. 13 of his 25 against left-handed pitchers.
13 and 34 ribbies against lefties. He's got 84 runs batted in. With the bases loaded this year, he's 7 for 12, 2 homers, and 19 ribbies. Yankees as a team have tied their 1987 predecessors with 10 grand slams. But that 87 team, 60% of those grand slams were hit by Don Mattingly. These are more evenly spread out. In 2004 and 3 and 98, the team had 9. The 0-1.
I don't think we've seen Seddon throw a breaking ball as of yet.
Nunez at third, Swisher at second, and Teixeira's at first. 2 men out. Count 1-2. Seddon has thrown 29 pitches. Yankees have a 6-0 lead. Starting to rain again. And starting to pick up some steam. 1-2. This is an amazing stat, and I don't know what to make of it. With the bases loaded this year, the Yankees are hitting .421 as a team.
Well, you got a lot of hitters like to hit with runners in scoring position, and guys who aren't afraid to hit with the bases loaded.
Count 3-2. So you could start the merry-go-round. Everybody will go with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. Seddon sets. Runners go. 3-2. They'll have to do it again. Brian Sweeney warming. Runners go again. That one's popped up. And that's going to make the seats, and Canó will get another hat.
Think of all the drills that the hitters work on, and the countless times I've seen Canó with Kevin Long working on staying inside the ball. Canó has about as pretty a swing as you will see.
Three-two. Line drive. A base hit to right field. 2 runs will score. Teixeira goes to third. It's a 2-run single for Canó. 6 ribbies for Canó. And the Yankees lead 8-0. Let's take a look at how they pitch to him. Pitch by pitch, brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Here it is. And the first pitch he's taking, it's in there for a strike. Breaking ball is fouled off. He's in the hole 0-2. 1-2. Outside again with a breaking ball. Now the count is full. Fouls one off. He's going to foul another one off here. That might have been ball 4. But then there's another breaking ball, and he's on it. Not a bad pitch by Seddon, but Canó goes out and gets it. Line drive. Going to knock Seddon out of the game, and a career high 6 runs batted in for Robinson Canó.
They have to go to the bullpen. Sweeney's coming in. Stay where you are. This Week in Football, presented by Geico. Join the gang every week for a look at the Jets and Giants weekend predictions, player interviews, and more. This Week in Football premieres Tuesday, August 31st, only on Yes. Check out Kimby there, resplendent in purple.
Yeah.
And there's Leo Gorcey. That's a Bowery Boys reference. Little guys having a good time at the ball game. The Mariners are not having a good time. Canó is, as Kenny said before we went to break, 6 RBIs. That's a new career high. And here's Brian Sweeney.
We saw Sweeney in yesterday's ball game. He gave up a couple of runs yesterday. And the Yankees 9-5 win. He came in, pitched 1 inning, a couple runs on a hit. So he's in for the 2nd consecutive day out of the bullpen.
And there's a strike. That last foul ball almost got Susan Waldman and John Sterling, but thank goodness they're okay. And John just said, that's baseball, Susan. Here's the 0-2, outside, 1 and 2.
Did you say that's a baseball? Can you see the mark on the wall there? It's
really? Wow,
see
look,
that?
I did, yeah. Tapped right back to Sweeney. Nice play. He'll retire Marcus Timms, but the Yankees get 3 more runs. They leave 2. The big blow, a 2-run single by Robinson Canó. He now has 86 ribbies, 6 of them in this game. Oh, thank goodness they're okay. He's 8-0 as they are looking to go 30 games over 500 for the first time this year. New pitcher for the Yankees. It's Kerry Wood taking over for CC Sabathia. Sabathia was dealing, but the 57-minute rain delay, it wasn't prudent to have him come out and pitch the 7th. So the Yankees will piece it together over the final 3 innings with their bullpen.
It's Kerry Wood's numbers with both Cleveland and the Yankees. 31 strikeouts in 29 innings. Only 28 hits for Kerry Wood. So the Yankees need 9 more outs and hold the lead to take 2 out of 3 from Seattle in this series and go 6-4 against Seattle for the season.
Gutierrez takes a pitch outside. Gutierrez, Kochman, and Moore here in the 7th. 8-7-1 Yankees, 0-3-2 for Seattle. And the count 2-0. Nice day for Canó with 6 ribbies out of the 8 that the Yankees have scored. High fly ball. Gardner for the first out.
Well, we saw the outfielders and the infielders trouble with pop-ups and fly balls earlier today because of the wind coming in, wind conditions and the rain. But the wind has kind of died down a little bit here. Not quite as bad.
Kenny, we witnessed history today. Did you realize this?
No.
CC Sabathia did something historic today. He made his 16th straight start of 6 or more innings pitched while allowing 3 earned runs or fewer. And that's the longest such streak in Yankees history. And it breaks a tie that he was in with Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry, who did it 15 straight, 1978, the year that he went 25-3 with, I think, a 1.78 ERA.
Yeah. That was an historical year. Just about unbeatable.
2-0. Count 3-0 to Kochman.
Guidry was so good that year that when you had the Yankees upcoming on your schedule, you were hoping it would work out that he had already pitched by the time you got to town, or by the time he got to wherever he was going.
Number 49, Ron Guidry.
Because you're just going to count that as an L. You're going to lose.
There's a strike. For some reason, it stands out in my head, and I could be wrong. Ryan could look this up. I think he lost in Milwaukee twice that year when the Brewers were in the American League.
I know he lost to Milwaukee once. I think he lost to Toronto once.
Really?
And he lost to Baltimore once.
There's a walk to Casey Kochman. Tomorrow, Yankees head north for a 3-game series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Our complete coverage will start at 6:30 with the Tri-State Port pregame. Then Kenny Singleton and John Flaherty will bring you the call from Rogers Center. Yankees Blue Jays tomorrow starting at 6:30. It's only on Yes.
And each time he lost, it was to a pitcher named Mike.
So the Brewer one was Mike Caldwell.
That's correct.
Mike Cuellar?
No. Another lefty, though.
Mike Flanagan?
Yeah. And the third one's the toughest one.
Another Mike with Toronto.
Yeah.
Mike Moore?
No, he wasn't lefty. There were.
Oh, lefty for Toronto, too.
It might have been out of the bullpen. I'm not sure, but
I don't know that one.
It was Mike Willis. Yeah.
So he did check. It was, as you said, Milwaukee, Baltimore, and Toronto.
And the one he lost to Baltimore was across the street, and those were unearned runs. He shouldn't have lost that one.
Tap over the mound, grabbed by Canó. He's having some day. He starts a 4-4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and because of this 4-4-3 double play, nobody left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Yankees lead the Mariners 8-0, but we will stay where we are to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
To the
Bob and Jack Curry and Kimberly Jones in the post-game show. And as we said earlier, we wish Lou Piniella the best of luck in his retirement and hope everything goes okay with his mom. The Verizon Wireless scoreboard, it's 8-0 Yankees over Seattle. Brian Sweeney on the mound will face Jorge Posada.
Well, that was particularly nice of the umpires to give Lou a nice send-off. They've sent him off before a few times.
So I got to tell you the story. So I'm leaving the parking lot yesterday outside the stadium. Yeah. And there's the couple that got married at the ballpark yesterday. You know, they sat in these seats.
Yeah.
So they walked up to me and they had kind of like tears in their eyes. And they said, you know, everybody has different thoughts about how people are. We want to call your show and tell everybody what a great guy you are. I said, well, what did I do? Well, see that family over there? And they point to his family, and they've all got like tears in their eyes. And I said, yeah, they told me what you did. And I said, what did I do? That's Brian Sweeney's family. I said, okay, because he lives in Yonkers.
Yeah.
They said, remember when he pitched well at the beginning of the year when he was here? The fact that you went out of your way to send the family a fruit basket to congratulate them on how he pitched. I mean, that stuff doesn't get written about you. You're such a good guy. I said, I never did that. That one is drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Home run, Jorge Posada. A solo shot. And it's 9-0 Yankees.
So you didn't do it.
But Posada did.
Yeah. Jorge hit one here yesterday, batting right-handed, now starting to heat up on the left side with the power bat. This is his 15th home run of the season.
Austin Kearns takes a strike. So
you didn't send.
So the couple said, well, we're not going to tell anybody because they really think you did. I said, well, I don't want credit for something I didn't do. I didn't send anybody a fruit basket. So then I started to think, what disturbed person out there sent them a fruit basket from Michael? So, I mean, I would love the Sweeneys to like me, but that's not the reason to like me. I didn't do it. That one has popped up. Kochman back. He's going to make the play in foul territory.
You just blew it for yourself.
What was that?
You have to be honest. Yeah.
I had to be honest. I mean, I'd actually like people to like me for a real reason. That was fake. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Here's Gardner. And I remember that start by Sweeney. He was great. But I don't send fruit baskets out to pitchers when they pitch well. That one's popped up. Lopez in foul territory makes the play for the second out.
I don't think I've ever sent a fruit basket to a pitcher.
Here's Eduardo Nunez. Nunez double to right. A very strange double. Got stuck in a puddle. There's a strike. Grounded to short. And Nunez is out, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get another run. Jorge Posada goes yard. His 15th home run of the year. And he likes the Bronx because 10 of the 15 have come here at Yankee Stadium as we go to the Yankees. TV today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. We got some changes for the Yankees. We'll pass them along, because that's what we do. There's Tuiasa Sopo, and there's a strike. Popped up. And there's Austin Kearns to make the play. One away. So Kearns, you can see, is the new right fielder. He switched from left. There's Austin. There's a new center fielder as well. And that's Curtis Granderson. And that means there's a new left fielder. And that's Brett Gardner. Nick Swisher is at first base, moving from right to first. Nunez moves from third to short as Wilson fouls it back. And Ramiro Pena takes over at third. So Jeter and Teixeira out of the game. Granderson will bat leadoff. Pena is going to bat third. Wilson chases a high fastball. 0-2. Another fastball up and in. Slow roller back to the mound. Wood bare hands and fires. 2-away. Today, throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Robinson Canó, number 2, Austin Kearns, number 3, C.C. Sabathia, and number 4, Jorge Posada. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Wood's last 9 innings pitched, all for the Yankees. He is not allowed a run. Ichiro. Nick Swisher tried to keep it fair with his nice blue glove, but not to be.
A chance for an easy out. You can't fault the hustle. Trying to get Kerry Wood a 1-2-3 inning. Trying to keep this ball fair, but it's not where Nick is, where the ball is. You can see the ball turns into foul territory, and Nick could not get to it in time.
The 0-2. You know that, and many people do, that when the Yankees got Nick Swisher in that trade, he was acquired to play first base for the Yankees. That was before the Yankees thought they were going to sign Mark Teixeira. He was going to be the first baseman. So he knows how to play the position. One-two. Still 1-2. Brandon League will come in for the Mariners in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Let's see if Kerry Wood could do something that no other Yankee pitcher's done in this series. Strike Ichiro out.
Ichiro is on pace for 209 hits. That one is looped into center field. And it's a base hit.
He is something. Looked like a lob serve in tennis. Watch him just stick the bat out. He's kind of fooled.
Wow.
Look at this pitch is not a strike. Almost ankle high.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. He can get it over the infield, just in front of the outfield, drop it in there for a hit. keeps the hitting streak going. Ichiro, the most ever hits for any player over a 10-year span.
Well, as we mentioned, he's on pace for 209, and that would be his 10th straight 200-hit season. And that would tie a Major League record, which is held by Pete Rose. Only Pete Rose didn't do it consecutive years. He had it 10 times. Ichiro right out the gate, rookie season, MVP, Rookie of the Year, although he was, a veteran status coming from Japan. But his first season in the big leagues, he's hit 200 hits, and every year since he's done the same thing. So when he does it this year, that'll tie a Major League record held by Pete Rose. The 0-2. Nub slowly. It's going to be a base hit for Figgins. So Wood's probably thinking, really?
Looked like Carey actually slipped a bit trying to get off the mound to make this play.
Same deal, Kenny.
Same pitch almost. Little squibber. You're not going to get Sean Figgins. He runs way too well.
Now they're going to take out Kerry Wood. They're going to bring on Jabba Chamberlain to get the final out of the 8th. Stay where you are. Game presented by Yankee Steiner. In this edition, Mark Teixeira sits down to talk about his personal baseball card collection, plus a local firehouse gets a big surprise from Yankees great Reggie Jackson. It's all tonight at 7:30, and it's only on Yes. Kerry Wood kind of got flummoxed by two little cheeky hits that knocked him out of the game, so he turns it over to Jabba Chamberlain as the rain starts to fall again here at the stadium. See the numbers on Jabba. 56 strikeouts in 53 innings, 55 hits, and 20 walks.
Of course, Jabba's been pitching to the tenor of the whole bullpen of late. He's been very, very good this latest stretch of the season.
Rain continues to fall. And the pitch to Brown. Count 1-0. The 1-0. That gets away from Posada, and both runners will move up. (9-0) Yankees. If you just joined us, well, where you been? 6 RBIs for Robinson Canó, a grand slam, and then a bases loaded single for another 2 RBIs. And they score that one a pass ball. The 2-0. Hot shot, Swisher. He'll flip to Jabba for the final out. So Nick Swisher makes a pretty play at first base. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Just came in from right field. Thought he'd have a little glove story. And a nice flip to Java to end the inning as we go to the bottom of the 8th. The game, why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Yeah, an intentional walk, loads the bases. Robinson Canó comes up, first pitch, grand slam, home run. His 25th home run of the year. That kind of broke the game open. At the time, it gave the Yankees a 5-0 lead.
And they have not looked back. New pitcher for the Seattle Mariners, it's Brandon League. Hard-throwing right-hander. And he's going to start off with Curtis Granderson. Entered the game in the top of the 8th. Those are the numbers on League. Grounded to second. Figgins to Kochman, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 out.
League's got a streak going now of 13 2/3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. The starting pitcher for Toronto tomorrow is Brandon Morrow. Morrow was the pitcher that was traded for League. Morrow won't go into Toronto, and League headed to Seattle.
Here's Nick Swisher. And that one gets past Moore. Count 1-1. Now the Mariners don't want to lose a game, but they are pleased that this game got in, and the Yankees the same deal. The Yankees are savoring the off days they have on the schedule in September because they played such a long stretch of games. I believe 36 games with 1 day off, and they've got 3 scheduled off days in September, which they're really looking forward to. Right now, there are no makeup games because of rain. The 2-1. Chop toward Figgins. 2 outs. So Swisher, 1 for 4 today with a walk and 2-run score. Here is Ramiro Pena.
Michael, if I remember correctly, League made his major league debut here at Yankee Stadium, or I should say across the street at Yankee Stadium a few years back. And he came in with a reputation of pushing the radar gun upwards of 100 miles an hour with movement. A couple of years ago, League is from Hawaii, and we were talking about this yesterday as we were leaving the game. We met him downstairs that he had hurt his shoulder surfing in the offseason. Blue Jays weren't very happy with him. All that paddling out to beyond the waves, and then grab a wave and surf on in the shore.
I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah, I know you are. Oh, Jones Beach, is that where you do your surfing?
Not really. On the web.
That can be a tiring affair too at times. Yeah.
His debut was September 21st, 2004 at the stadium.
Yeah.
Pete Stendhal surfs. Pete Casey Stendhal, I like to call him.
Down on the Jersey Shore. All right.
Pete has scared many, many children on the Jersey Shore as he comes careening in off a wave. Right, Pete? Look at Kim. Yeah, that's Pete, Kim. Nothing Yankees. We're at the bottom of the 8th inning. Past the diving Coxman into right field. A base hit for Ramiro Pena. And that's going to bring up Robinson Canó.
Pena making the most of his lone at bat of the day. Casey Coxman trying to guide his steps and choppy steps in the muddy infield. Can't come up with it. Pena has himself a base hit.
Number 24.
By the way, Canó has another multi-hit game today. That's 45. He's gaining on Ichiro, and he also leads the Yankees. Ichiro's got 50.
Pitch inside to Canó. Canó with 6 runs batted in today. Started off the day poorly, though. He struck out in the first inning, wrapped into a double play in the third. Then the Mariners had the temerity to walk somebody intentionally in front of him to load the bases, and he rewarded them with a grand slam. And then again he came up with the bases loaded in the 6th inning. Teixeira was walked in front of him. Not intentionally, though. And then he hit a 2-run single. His previous career high for RBIs in a game was 5, and he had done that 7 times. Grounded to second, booted by Figgins. E4.
I guess he didn't want to tie that record. 3 assists in an inning. Has a chance here. Looks like he's all set to make the play. But no, not this time. Figgins with an E.
Been a long season for Sean Figgins.
And a little longer. 14th error.
There's Marcus Timms. Grounded slowly toward third, but it's foul. The 0-1. 1-1. Line drive to left field. That's going to be in there for a base hit. Pena comes home. So does the throw. Pena's in there. RBI for Timms. And it's double digits for the Yankees. They lead 10-0.
Timms gets in on the hit parade. His first hit of the afternoon. Drives in a run. So the error prolongs the inning. Unearned run, but Timms still a run batted in. Pena off with the crack of the bat with 2 outs. Rounding third. Here comes the throw. Tuiasosopo, but good throw, but a little late.
They got to find a 1. There they go. 10-10 wins.
Usually does.
Posada home run his last time up. Grounds that one foul.
Tell you, after the first 3 innings, Michael, the Yankee offense really got in gear. 1-4-3-1-1. I wonder if that's a zip code anywhere in the country.
I think it's Winsville. 1-1. That gets away from Moore as the runners move up. This is the 15th time the Yankees have scored in double digits this year. The 2-1. 3-1. And the 3-1. Grounded foul.
Yeah, it's I guess the people at home can see how hard the rain's coming down now. Once again, Posada's going to have to get something to dry off the hands. Didn't dampen the spirit of that fan. Got himself a souvenir.
So Posada wants to get a good grip. He, the only Yankee all year to not use batting gloves. Now, Francisco Cervelli usually doesn't, but he'd been slumping, and he came up with batting gloves earlier this week. Didn't get a hit. He came up twice and then decided to take them off. But Posada's never worn batting gloves. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Posada down on strikes. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. We go to the 9th. Yankees up 10-0. In postgame, as Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Ms. Kimberly Jones wrap up this series of the Mariners and give you the latest scores and highlights from the playoff races around the majors. It's all coming up later on the WB Mason postgame, only on Yes. Still raining in Boston. They got that game underway, but the rain has held it up again. No score at Fenway as Jabba Chamberlain will try to get the final 3 outs. If the Yankees win this, then CC Sabathia will pick up his 17th victory. Now, the last Yankee to win 20 games was Mike Messina, and he won his 17th game on September 2nd. So this is August 22nd, and CC has another August start. We've got a pinch hitter. Chris Woodward is going to pinch hit.
Former Blue Jay.
For Jose Lopez. Fouled away. Oh for 2 as a pinch hitter. And the 0-1. Job is having a little difficulty with footing on the mound. They've done the best job they can with the rain, which has continued to fall. So it's probably a little bit slippery. And a strike. Count 1-2. Yankees will go 30 games over 500 for the first time this year. So that'll be their high water mark. That one is driven to left field and deep. Does it have the height? Yeah, no, it does not. It lands fair, though, and bounces up against the wall, so it'll be a double. Pinch hit double for Woodward.
So this is Woodward's first hit of the year. Been in the minor leagues at Tacoma most of the year. You can see this ball is just fair into the corner. Another look at it. Yep. By about a foot. Whee! Slipped. He's all right.
That'll bring up Franklin Gutierrez, and the ball boy brings out a tongue depressor for Chamberlain to clean out his spikes. It's just a knife. It's a knife. Game like this, Kenny, are the shoes salvageable?
Well, players nowadays, you look in the locker.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, looks like Modell's. I got a piece of Posada.
So they're not going to waste too much time on a pair. They'll go to the next one.
But sometimes I'm sure they get comfortable, right?
Yeah, but if they're that comfortable, you're not going to wear them out on your best shoes.
Right,
you're not going to wear
true.
them on the field like this. You go for the backups. I'm sure you wouldn't have worn those shoes here today if you knew it was going to rain.
Probably not.
Yeah, you would have gone with the backups.
The 0-1. Count 1-1.
Yankees hold on and win this one. It'll make it 6-4 against Seattle on the season, and 8 straight years in which the Yankees have not lost the season series to the Mariners. Good slider.
The 1-2. Grounded foul. Oh, thank you. I am having a good day, although you spelled my name wrong. That's like Michael Ray Richardson.
I just ran out of room on the poster board there.
No, they just juxtaposed the E and the A wrong. That one's popped up. Canó will make the play. You know, I've really seen, Kenny, the kids take into heart if they bring a Michael K sign that they're going to get on. They're going to get on the air. The kids have bought into it. A lot of them have gone home bitterly disappointed.
Plus, you don't think
the
school's coming up,
right?
Well, what did you do over the summer? I made this.
Here's Casey Kochman. Count 1-0. Don't you think, Kenny, that the mystery fruit basket sender should send all the kids fruit baskets for making those signs?
They like to show The Millionaire. Remember that show?
Yes. The 2-0. That one is lined into left field, giving chase. Gardner, he makes the play. He got a good jump for the second out. Seattle down to its final out.
Yeah, Brett Gardner with his center fielder skills playing left field at Yankee Stadium, raging over to the line on a wet outfield and making the play. You notice no splash marks when he's running, though. That shows you how well the field is drained since the rain. What does that show? They just walk up to your house and hand you $1 million? Is that what that show is about?
Yeah. I think it was called free agency. Tampa Bay leads Oakland 1-0, top of the third. And Bob Lorenz will have the latest details on the W.B. Mason postgame show. The pitch to Adam Moore is high. And right after the postgame show is a brand new, spanking new W.B. Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. That one gets past Posada. She just found out she misspelled the name. Can't put everybody on, but you got a shot. 10-0 Yankees. We're in the top of the ninth. Runner at second with now runner at third after the wild pitch with 2 outs. 2-1. Staff would love to have a shutout, so Jabba doesn't want to give up that run by any stretch.
You certainly have to give the fans that hung in here throughout the day, the rain delay, sitting in the rain. A lot of them came prepared with the umbrellas. I guess from a standpoint of being a Yankee fan, it's been a good day.
And now it's going to end with a victory. Nunez comes up throwing. Nice scoop there by Swisher. And the Yankees win this game 10-0. And the Yankees are 30 games over 500. They win their 77th game. They won their 77th game August 21st last year. They win it today on the 22nd of August. And Robinson Canó in the middle of it with the grand slam, the 2-run single, a career-high 6 RBIs. You got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. A victory for CC Sabathia. He now goes to 17-5 with 6 shutout innings. Did not come out to pitch the 7th after a 57-minute rain delay, but he gave the Yankees just what they needed, restoring order to the starting staff after shaky outage by A.J. Burnett and Javier Vasquez. So the Yankees take 3 out of 4 against the Tigers. They take 2 out of 3 against Seattle, and that's what you have to do against teams that are under 500. And now they will head to Toronto to play an above 500 team for 3 games. Then Thursday's an off day, and then they will play 3 games in Chicago against the White Sox, who certainly need those victories as they are in a very, very tough go against the Minnesota Twins in the Central. Robinson Canó with 6 RBIs. That's a career high, and he's with our Kim Jones. Kim?
He did that, Michael. 6 RBIs today, Robbie. But let's talk team first. You guys, 30 games over 500 for the first time this season. And at a time where every game counts, you win a series. How about the play of the team today?
Well, you know what? We're always trying to get on the race. And it's like I always say, we need to win series and, start picking them up. And good thing we started 2 years ago when we came back. And we're just going to keep playing the little games.
I know you've asked Alex how it feels to have Teixeira intentionally walk before him this season, so now I need to ask you, what were you thinking when they intentionally walked Mark Teixeira? Bases loaded, you come to the plate.
Well, I just say just go out there and get a pitcher hit.
And?
Like you as a player say, all right, that's what you want to do, so I'm going to go out there and get the best pitches I can.
And the home run feels good in that situation because that's challenging you as a competitor, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't thinking about hitting a home run. Just was thinking about just get a hit and bring 2 runs in, and good things, hit a grand slam.
Robbie Canó, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michael, back to you.
And thank you, Kimberly, and thank you to Robinson as well. He's having a great year. He certainly is. 25 home runs. That ties his career high, which he set last year. He's got a lot more games to go. And he also